It's called the Midlife Crisis. I was 4 years sober, 5 years sober, just miserable, really. Because, I didn't know how to have relationships. My relationship ended. I didn't know how to raise a kid. My kid told me he hated me. He was like 15, 14. I didn't know how to get along with coworkers, and I'd been working with these people and bullying them and causing all kinds of friction and chaos with them. And so my work blew up. So I didn't have a job. My kid told me he hated me, wanted to move back in with his mom. My girlfriend left me, and I was like really in a bad spot. But once I made the decision to stay sober, I'm gonna stay sober no matter what. Figured, I'm gonna go get some new clothes. That'll fix it, right? You ever thought that? It does kind of fix it for like 15, 20 minutes or half a day. So I went to this store, and there was these really cool Puma tennis shoes, and they were black with day-glo orange Puma thing, right? And I thought, those are dope, right? And I'm going through all this emotions. I'm like, those are cool, So I put them on, and it was like at the the Puma factory store. So they didn't just have mirrors that you could see the shoe. They had mirrors you could see your whole body, right? And so I was looking at the shoes, and I looked up at old dude me and the cool young guy shoes. And I just had this thing of like, oh my God, what am I trying to do? It was a moment of self-pity and self-realization or something, I don't know. But I immediately took the shoes off, and I said, I don't want the shoes. And the girl was like, no, I thought you like them. And I was like, no, I don't want the shoes. So then I left, I didn't buy anything. I went home, and I was so depressed, and I'm old, and nobody likes me, and all that kind of self-pitying bullshit that comes from childhood trauma. And I said, I gotta grow up somehow. Then the next morning I woke up and I was like, fuck that, what was I thinking? I went back to the store, bought the shoes, put them on, wore them, right? Because we're just so juxtaposition. The childhood trauma and the way that we cope with life just doesn't make any sense, right? My conviction the night before was it's time for me to grow up and maybe go to therapy or maybe learn how to be a grown-up. I wake up in the morning like, fuck that, get the shoes. You know what I mean? So I get the shoes, I went over to this 12-step meeting that night, and this dude I don't like, when I'm walking in, he goes, nice shoes, dude. And I was like, what? And people were coming from behind. I was like, what did the fucking motherfucker just say? You know what I mean? And then people were coming in and we're sitting down, and I don't like this guy. I stared at him the whole meeting from across the room like he's putting my shoes down or putting me down or something, right? So I, in my mind, I don't hear anything of the 12-step meeting. I'm not paying any attention. I'm just thinking of how to destroy him, right? And so angry at him. And I'm looking at him like, look at that phony, all the kind of that monkey brain that we get, that Buddhists call monkey brain, that just and 12-step world called alcoholic thinking. I was fully engaged in it for an hour. And so then I storm out of the 12-step meeting, I get in my car, and I call a guy I know who hates that guy, right? And I call him and I go, dude, you know what so-and-so did to me at the meeting tonight? And he's like, what? And I was like, he made fun of me in front of a bunch of newcomers. Now that's a lie. There was no newcomers around. Now I'm character assassinating him. I'm bringing a friend of mine into this conspiracy of my lies and deceit. And he goes, I fucking hate that guy. I go, me too. He goes, what are you gonna do about it? I was like, I didn't want to do anything about it. I just wanted to gossip and feel sympathy. But then he started, you got to fucking confront him. You're the one person, Bob, in 12-step world that can confront him. And I was like, no, I don't think I'm the guy. You know what I mean? So by calling this guy, he starts pushing me, and then getting other guys, friends of ours, over a 2-day period of time, like, Bob's really got to confront so-and-so. And I'm going to do it. And I'm like, dude, what are you talking about? I'm just talking shit about him. And they're like, no, you need to say something because he's done that to a lot of people and you're the only one that can stand up to him. And I was like, you know what, I am. I'm going to stand up to him. So go to a meeting that I know he goes to. I see him outside. I go, dude, after the meeting, I need to talk to you. And he goes, okay. So then that meeting goes on. I don't hear anything in it. I'm just like running through what I'm going to say. The guy I called and like 4 other guys that know what's going down, like an 8th grader's meeting on the parking lot after school, right? Mm-hmm. They're all there. They're all looking at me, give me a like, nah, you gotta really put him in his place, Bobby. So, and after the meeting breaks up, he's off talking to somebody, and then I walk up to him, I go, dude, we need to sit down and talk. And so all the guys are gathered around watching me have the showdown with the big 12-step guy. We walk down the end of that tropical cafe and sit down at this little table with 2 chairs. And he sits down and he goes, where'd you get those shoes, dude? They're so dope. And I was wearing the shoes. And I go, what? And he goes, you were wearing those the other night. I told you how dope they were. Where'd you get them? Like, I hadn't seen them. Were they out yet? And I was like, no, but what are you talking about? And he goes, I saw you wear those shoes last night, or the other night, and I thought they were so cool. I told you I thought they were so cool. Where'd you get them at? I want to get some. And he goes, so what's the problem? Because I know you're mad at me. What, did I talk about God too much or what? And I was like, nothing really. You know, I didn't know what to say. And in that moment, I realized so much about my personality, how I operate. It was a way better moment of clarity than the moment of clarity you supposedly have when you're on drugs and you're going to stop taking drugs. I had a moment of clarity of what an asshole I was, that there was no way to be happy being like this, and that I didn't want to live like this anymore. And so that led to therapy.